welcome to this week's Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence. I am your host, Miss Ronnie, and I always seek to give you exquisite cranial repertoire. This week, I heard some news about a TikTok influencer that is kind of bizarre. I can't remember the young lady's name, but I do know that she had been reporting on Jennifer Lopez, and also she was diagnosed with colon cancer. She made a post about, and this is not verbatim, but if she died, it would be J-Lo's fault because of copyright strikes made to her channel. This brings me to my subject for today, the Fair Use Act. Do influencers go too far for the money, or do celebrities go too far to stifle influencers? I understand, if I'm correct, that this lady had 700,000 followers and had been building her platform over 4 years. So she was saying that she was monetized and that she was using that revenue to pay for her cancer treatment. The complaint is that she got several copyright strikes for using either, I don't know if it was stills or shorts from the video from J-Lo's documentary or musical or whatever it was, because I've heard it called so many things and had so many parts or whatever, but I don't know. So, but my thoughts can kind of see, I guess, both sides of the situation. It is alleged that Jennifer put $20 million of her own money into her project. And I don't know if she actually spent that amount or what was what, but I'm just going to say that that's a lot of money. So I could see her feeling a way about some stranger using footage from a project that she paid for, and to have the nerve to use it to criticize me using something that I paid for with my money. So yes, I can see her saying, find your own shit. You won't use mine to talk about me. And I can kind of agree on that aspect, but we'll get into some other things. So on this hand, Jennifer can strike up a storm, but is it for protection of her public persona, or just being evil, trying to cut influencers and commentators' revenue on their channels and platforms? Now, I understand that the lady who died channel was monetized and J-Lo caused her to lose her page. I guess it was like permanently deleted or whatever. With it being permanently deleted or whatever, it ultimately affected her life. And from what I have gathered, she believed that under fair use, she didn't do anything wrong. But did she? According to Google, fair use is a legal doctrine that allows for the use of copyright protected works without permission from the copyright holder in certain circumstances. The goal of fair use is to promote freedom of expression. The Copyright Act Section 107 provides the framework to determine fair use. So if it had to go to court and the judge had to rule on it or whatever, they would use a four-factor rule. Things in technology now, with technology and artificial intelligence, and when people do thumbnails, they'll make thumbnails using an original picture, but they'll add something to it to make it different enough to where they wouldn't get a copyright strike. So there are four factors that determine fair use. One is purpose and character of the use. So you have to determine whether it's commercial or nonprofit educational. Two, it has to be transformative, whether it adds to new expression or meaning to the original material, such as when you might have a YouTuber that is going to do a deep dive. So that is given to new meaning to the original material. And it also has something to do with teaching. But three, effect, whether the use had adverse market effect, which is, did it affect J-Lo's money? I think in this instance it didn't, because from my understanding it wasn't like the I guess the documentary musical thing wasn't selling. I don't know. Then sub-factors. Sub-factors that influence how the factor weighs in favor or against fair use. Some examples that may qualify as fair use is criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. And I think that if a person is reporting on it, whether it's TikTok or Facebook or Instagram or any platform, I think that it's informing for sure. And you can criticize, but as long as you're not being salacious with it, I don't see why you would go through to try to strike people to keep them from making money. Although I can see um, why would you wouldn't want them to make money off of you saying negative things, but you also have to understand you need people to make money too. So it's a two-way street on that. Some non-fair use examples are commercial purposes, bad faith, such as lying and cheating to gain access to the work. According to copyright information from Penn State, work is creative. Using creative work weighs against fair use because the strength of copyright is greater for the creative works at the core of the copyright protection, such as novels, you right, paintings, and songs. So yes, independent artists, you really need to know about copyright because we have so many independent artists that I would say that hadn't made it to the professional level that will just take somebody else's things. And in a song, that's why you have all these lawsuits. And that's why it's important to take care of your business part. But I'll get back to that. But in contrast to use of creative work, use of factual work is more likely to be fair because facts themselves are not copyrightable. So I would say just because something is negative that is reported about you, if it's factual, that is not a copyright infringement. That is not a reason to try to get a lawsuit against someone just because they're reporting on you in a negative way. Because one of the fair use criteria is criticism. Factual works that are on the fringe of copyright, such as meeting minutes, have thinner protection. Does not mean it doesn't have any protection, but has thinner protection. Using the heart of the work weighs against fair use. Did this young lady use the heart of Jenny from the Block's work? As a general rule, the more you use, the less likely the use is to be fair. So, my advice is to synthesize your sources. Do not use one source for your whole report, especially when using pieces of other creative works. So, I could see her using parts of, I guess, the documentary / musical, but she also, I guess, should have added in some other commentators' opinions and if they agree. I'm really not sure. I know she read Blind Items. I like listening to Blind Items. I'm sure that what she was doing did fall under a Fair Use Act, in my opinion, because, like I said, it's for criticism, news reporting, teaching, and research. So if somebody is criticizing you, there's something that you did that they don't agree with, or that they think that the public should know, which is news reporting. Or if they notice patterns, it doesn't matter. Notice patterns or things that happen that's teaching other people. Or research, digging into blind items. In my opinion, I think J-Lo was wrong, and TikTok, YouTube, and especially Facebook should include an investigation. But also, if they have to permanently ban a creator, I think that the celebrity should be banned too. If you don't want somebody reporting on or criticizing anything that you do, then maybe you don't need to be on the platform either. If you are a celebrity and someone reports on you, you are not above the Fair Use Act. You can be criticized, and your own works can be used to do it. You can be reported on because you are considered entertainment news. You can be used as an example in teaching, and influencers can use your words, your works, your facial expression, or anything for research. If someone pulls up an old video and it's factual, then it's fair to criticize. Tell other people, teach others about the intricate details, or dig more into your actions. As a general rule of thumb, you probably should always try to gain permission before using anybody else's works. Let me know your thoughts. Remember, you can catch Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence on all podcasting platforms, stream live on social media, sound bites on TikTok and Twitter, find us on Rumble, get services for music and recording artists as well as merch at blonde-intelligence.com, and I will see y'all next week. Bye.
Hey girl, let me tell you about this podcast.
Girl, everybody has a podcast these days.
But this one interviews new and interesting indie artists. It's called Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence.
Really? Where can I find it?
It's on all podcasting platforms, streams live on social media, and on rpentradio.com.
What'd you say it was called again?
It's called Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence.
Girl, I'm gonna have to check her out.
Give it a check, girl.